Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Rocket, and it has been a hot minute since I've recorded one of these voiceovers. It is currently January 7th, Friday, and this is supposed to be coming out on the 11th, on Tuesday. The build is not technically done. As I'm recording this, I've only finished 2 out of 3 of these townhouses, but before I continue on this, I would like to explain the build. Today we are building a townhome community lot. This is one of the bigger lots in Newcrest, and it is based, again, on a Roller's floor plan. I will have them linked in the description. I don't remember which number this is, but it is one of the newer ones, and it's 3 two-story townhomes. Each of them has 3 or 4 bedrooms and 3 or 4 bathrooms each. And before I went into this build, I kind of had a preset idea of what I wanted it to be. I knew I wanted one house to be old-fashioned, with old furniture, and one of them I wanted to be for a big family, and I wanted one of them to be for a plant mom or dad, with maybe a kid or something. So that is what I end up going with. And when I start this video, you probably noticed that all 3 of the houses were already built, and there was already kind of furniture in it. Those were just placeholders. I used the floor plan and set up all the floor plan before I started recording, so that it would take less time to do that, because making the floor plan is just definitely complicated. But for these houses, I made all of their windows matched. It was definitely it got built here and then the people moved in, but they still got to choose their counters and stuff. But I definitely liked how this turns out. Like I said, as I'm recording this voiceover, I'm not actually done with it yet. But for me to finish the last house, I want to be able to get the Blooming Rooms kit, which I don't quite have yet. So I'm just waiting for that, for me to get a chance to buy it to finish this recording. But as soon as I do, I'm going to be finishing this and posting it on Tuesday. Hopefully, that is, like I said, my hope. If it doesn't get posted on Tuesday, I'll be pretty disappointed, because this past Tuesday I didn't post, and I broke my schedule that I've been trying to keep up with. But yeah, so I hope you guys are all having a good day, whichever day you're watching this. Today, a couple days ago I started journaling, and since then everything's been a lot easier. I've been able to write it all down, and it's just it's nice. Okay. But yeah, sorry, a notification came up on my phone about something urgent, but it can wait because it's not actually that urgent. I'm just sitting in my room right now, editing. I finally got Filmora to work again because it's been bugging and lagging and freezing, and stopped responding every time I tried to open it. But I've been exposed to COVID. I don't know which variant, but now I'm just stuck in my room. I can't do anything. Luckily, it's a Friday, so I don't have to stay home from school. I would like to apologize because, as you can see, this building is just a little bit skipping. I don't know why it was doing that. I don't think I had anything running in the background while I was building this that could have caused that, but it stopped 2 different times during the building of this kitchen, I believe. So it should happen again soon, but just a warning. I don't know why it happened, but it did. Anyway, this one so far is definitely my favorite. It is a autumnally, autumn colored build with this really warm wood tone, and it's for a pretty big family. I believe in the end it has 6 possible Sims living there, and then 1 that might visit from university. And you'll see that come in together. I tried this new thing that I've never done before. I've seen people do it where they like put the table in the island. This is where it lags again. I put the table in the island, and it like I think it turned out really cute with the dine out table. Anyway, I used my koi picture again, and when I was showing this to my dad, he's like, "Oh no, the koi again!" So obviously there are a few things that are starting to become iconic on this channel, even though it's still pretty new, like my nooks. I do have another nook in this build under the stairs because it was just the perfect place. Anyway, we finished the kitchen and moving on to the entry room. I was like hopping around this build a little bit, but the living room is pretty good. I think it turned out nice. I imagine that this house had a big dog and a small dog, and I think it, yeah, I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry. They have a fireplace and this really nice living area. I think how the stool on the left, not stool, chair on the left, I liked how that turned out because I added like this ottoman that they have, but I like sized it down. It's part of the sectionals. But moving back to what I imagined, who I imagined living in this house. I imagined that in this house, this particular one, there was a family of Sims with 2 dogs and one like older brother probably was like at university and he visited sometimes, and there's like this office bathroom area on the other side of the house on the bottom floor, and I imagined that when he came over he would like stay there and just sleep on a couch. But I liked how much personality I added to this one. The next one, where it's more traditional, is definitely more laid back on the personality. It's not as bright and colorful. It's all pretty monotone. But I add a lot of different activities for these people to do. I imagined that the sportier kids definitely enjoyed soccer and a little bit of basketball, and then there were like there's a kid that likes science, and I imagined that maybe the teenager, who I imagined was a girl, might like music and doing music. So we've got all of that littered throughout the house. This entryway I also think turned out really cute. I used kitchen cabinets a lot in this build for a lot of different purposes, because I used to like never use them, but now I was trying to use them too much, but I still think it turned out nice. I thought of this like really awesome idea for the entryway, where it's like you have this half cabinet in the middle 2 slots where you put like shoes underneath and like dog treats on top and clutter, and like behind it is the mirror from Vintage Glamour, where it has like this line in the middle, except the cabinet would cover over the line, and I just think it turned out really cute. I jump back to decorating everything else because I scrolled through the catalogs so many times in this build. It turned out, but like I said, it turned out really nice with quite a bit of clutter. Now, the floor plan had the table in this house against the window, and that didn't really work. So I tried to put it in the middle, but I couldn't find one that worked there either. So I ended up putting it on the wall that has the open archway to the kitchen, like next to the door of the office, and I think it turns out pretty cute. It's just like a door, although I imagined 6 Sims living here, but as I was building the dining room I didn't really think that through, so I only added 5 chairs. But you know, it's fine. Maybe one of them doesn't really feel like a family. Maybe the teenager likes to eat in their room. I know I do, because my family just recently let me eat in my room, and I already have some dishes piling up. But the dining area is pretty, like, clean. It's not particularly cluttered on the walls, but the rest of the area is. I keep going back and adding stuff to the kitchen. The kitchen is probably one of the most cluttered rooms. I add this collage, or I start to add this collage on the wall, but then I found these really cute sports medals and a really nice swatch, but like the swatch had a lot of silver medals, and I thought it was so cute that like maybe they weren't the best at sports, but they still like hung up. their little silver medals and bronze medals, and I just thought that was really cute. But now I've moved on to the office, and I start decorating it for a university student that goes to Birchester. That's how I started. That's the more traditional university, but I end up later changing it to Foxbury, and that's the more modern one. It has a color scheme of red and orange, which I definitely thought fit with this build a lot more. So that's partially the reason that I changed their university. Anyhow, I definitely thought this was a kind of brainy, kind of athletic young adult who went to uni. He or she, but I was imagining he, liked to do robotics, was definitely pretty skilled at that, was in the robotics club, but he was also pretty good at soccer, so he juggled that. Or they or she. I don't want to make your story up for you if you decide to get this off my gallery, by the way. That's Immortal Rocket on the gallery. I believe it's just the same thing as my YouTube channel. But if you want to put this in your lot or your house with your family, that would be nice. And I want to see how you guys might be playing with this if you do end up doing that. Anyway, we moved on to the bathroom for him or her, and I imagined that they really didn't leave their room or this 2-room area when they came home from university, because they were too focused on schoolwork still. But the bathroom turned out really nice. It starts off pretty dark, but I ended up changing it to lighter tile and lighter woods. But I made this really nice walk-in shower. I've tried to experiment with walk-in showers before, but 1x2 walk-in showers are a lot more difficult. So I ended up doing the best I could find. I searched tips and tutorials on YouTube, but a lot of them were for 2x2s or 3x3 showers, and that's not what I was looking for. But I found a way to make it work. I placed this little ottoman in there for a seating area on the shower. Anyway, we're moving up to the upstairs. The hallway is pretty unfurnished. It doesn't have much in it because I find it really, really hard to decorate hallways because that's a lot of space you have to fill up, and it's so narrow and there are doors everywhere. Anyway, we make this laundry room. In the floor plan, it's technically a bathroom, but I decided to make it a laundry room because I thought that would be more realistic for this house. It's pretty simple decorations. I found this ottoman from Laundry Day and I added downstairs. Anyway, it is one of 2 what were supposed to be bathrooms in the upper floor, so since that got changed to a laundry room, there's only 1 bathroom that's super accessible in this entire house because the other one is next to the office. Anyway, we moved on to the toddler's room. I definitely imagined this to be a girly girl. There were definitely a lot of girls in this house, I decided. This was their little princess, loved pink, everything was pink, and I know a lot of girls, or quite a few, went through this phase when they were young. I did not. That's not meant to be bragging, by the way. I just didn't. Pink's not really my color. I think it looks weird and it's overrated in my opinion. But you can like whatever color you want. But first up, when I started this child's room, I imagined that these were 2 twins that didn't like each other very much. So they wanted to have separate sleeping areas, and they had separated their bunk beds. But I decided that looked really weird. So I decided to put their bunk beds back together and put them in this little indent and add these backboards, which I don't like how the empty space at the foot of the bunk bed is. I hate that it's not a full 3 tiles. I think it looks really weird. Anyway, I decided that when you walk in, the left side of the room is the homework area and the area for the sporty child. I imagined that he liked blue, or she. I imagined I'm sorry if this sounds like stereotypical gender stuff. It's just what I imagined for these Sims. But I imagined that he liked basketball a lot, but still played some soccer. He has this mini basketball hoop, and then the other one likes purple. I imagine it's she, and she liked science and space, and she was definitely the oddball of the family, definitely the weird one that didn't have many friends at school. And then we moved on to the teenager's room, and this was definitely a more chillaxed teenager. Like I said, maybe into some music or art. A really not cluttered up room. It's really simple, really clean. I love these movie posters. The one with the like girl with the poofy hair and the sword. I think they look so cute together. I used in my last build as well. But anyway, we're moving on to the only bathroom that's really accessible to everybody in the house. It's upstairs, and it has basically the same wallpaper as the one downstairs, but different. It has yellow furnishings. And then we move on to the bedroom, master bedroom. Oh, I move around some stuff in this room. I move the desk over, and this is like a seating place for the teen to maybe like sleep or something. But moving on to the master bedroom, I experiment with the city living bed because I don't use it often, but I change it to a much more comfortable and like, I don't know how to explain it, but I wanted to try branching out with different side tables with this university one, but I decided that it looks a little too weird, so I keep both of them at the tiny living. I use this tiny living table trick again, where it's like one size down underneath the other. And I used this rounded sofa. Finally, I've been looking for an excuse to use this rounded corner piece for the sofa, and I have not found a chance until in here. And I put the same Get Famous side table behind it to like block off the space, but I still think it looks cute. And then we add a little desk area with some artist stuff. I was thinking maybe the teen got their artist love, the love for artistry, art from their mom, which I assumed was the artist. Have an easel in here, I believe, possibly. And then the dad, maybe, I don't know what the dad liked. I didn't really come up for that good of personalities. Maybe the dad likes soccer, like his sons, and they play a lot of soccer together. I don't know. Didn't really come up with a personality for the parents. I go into the gallery to find some nice paintings. That I find really helpful now that I have the gallery. Because you can just like find new artwork. Anyway, we're moving on to the more traditional house. This is definitely more darker wood tones with royal colors like a deep blue and deep purple. Because back in the old days that used to be associated with royalty. Because purple was really expensive to make, so only wealthy people had it. But that was definitely the inspiration for this build. I wanted to start with the kitchen again. Okay, sorry, another alert on my phone. I wanted to start with the kitchen, but I could not find anything, so I went like really basic. This thing on the wall definitely had me in the most trouble. I wanted to have these like backsplashes from the gallery, but they didn't really work, so I just get this. I'm not sure if that tile stays. It might not, but the kitchen is so simple, not really as decorated as I usually make it. I thought it would look really cute with this table and chairs in the center because it was like a big open space. I don't really like galley kitchens, which is kind of what this is. Galley, they make me uncomfortable and claustrophobic, which I'm not usually claustrophobic. Anyway, I just add these like traditional decorations. I add a fruitcake and like an egg holder and a china cabinet thing. And the dining room is right off of the kitchen, which is pretty traditional. And it uses the same chairs as in the kitchen, and the table is kind of the same but longer and not round. And I definitely struggled with this house. This house is not my style. I don't build traditional stuff. It pushes me out of my comfort zone, and it was kind of nice I definitely rushed this build a lot on this particular one because, like I said, not my style. It's not the kind of thing I do. But we're already almost on the upstairs. Actually, that's a lie. I add this Jerry picture. Everybody loves Jerry. I love Jerry. This entryway is pretty simple. Not much to add. I added a mirror because as I was scrolling through TikTok, I found this one where it's like best things to put in your entryway if you walk straight into a door, and it's like a mirror to see if there's someone behind you. And I thought that was really fun and funny, but also not. But in the living room is definitely an interesting room. It has lots of bookcases. There are lots of bookcases in this house. We have a fireplace with a TV, and the coffee table. I used the normal coffee table from base game. That's like a 1x2. It's pretty fancy looking, but I like made it look like a circle by intersecting them. And then I just used Tool to raise some of them up higher so that they didn't like bug and glitch out, because that looks really weird. But I think it turned out nice. A few empty vases, and I definitely believed that this house had way too many guest bedrooms. I definitely think that the couple or person that lives here was elderly, maybe had lots of empty bedrooms for their family to come visit, but they live on the bottom floor mostly. And the bedroom we're making now, I think, might be the master. The reason you saw me on the gallery there is because I could not, for the life of me, find the walk-in closet from Get Together. I think it was like marked as CC for some reason, so I had to take out all of my CC, and that took a while. But anyway, we have this cute little sideboard that I custom made using what I think are cats and dogs things. Anyway, the bathroom is pretty traditional. I found these traditional looking appliances and black curtains, and just really basic, I guess. Really, I've said this a lot of times, traditional, old-timey, maybe another way to refer to it. Moving upstairs, I believe it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2 pretty big bath. One is one with like a bath and a shower, and I don't think it has a toilet. And then the other one has a toilet and a shower tub combo, and a double sink, maybe. This red bedroom might also be the master bedroom because it has a lot more personality than the other ones. But who knows? It has a nice fireplace. It's pretty dull, but it still has a little personality. This was like, I made sure to put a walk-in closet in all of them because first of all, it took up the space, and we had so many bedrooms. But I decided to make 2 bedrooms upstairs that had double beds, and then one that had a single bed. And one of them, this one that I'm decorating right now, was really white, really pristine. This one probably doesn't get used much. It's not super decorated. It's probably like an extra bedroom, or like people who live here, their family fills up the other bedrooms, and that one's like if they ever have unexpected guests that they need to host or something. Anyway, this third one also has a little bit of personality. It has a desk, a vanity, a blue bed spread, and a nice simple blue rug. Anyway, we're moving on to the bathrooms. I add this marble behind, and it's really odd. I don't know, it doesn't look traditional, but it also does at the same time, because you can't see the marble as well. Anyway, this bathroom has a big sink and just quite a few towels. At this point, I still had Tool uninstalled, so it was hard to clutter things up. Anyway, we're moving on to the next bathroom, and these were big bathrooms. So I had to take 2 of the tiles and like section them off and fill them with platforms because there was no way I could use those. It was just too much. But this build is almost done. And now we're moving on to the third and final one. What's up? I'm Rocket from the future compared to what you just watched. It's been a couple days, I've bought the new kits. Well, not the new kits, the kits that are new to me. And I've finished the build. The third one is going to be a lot lighter in color. It's going to be using a lot of the Industrial Loft and Blooming Room kits. And it's going to be very green and pink themed. That is one of my favorite color combinations, because pink and green just go so well together in my mind. But this one is definitely a massive plant lover. Maybe has a few a little bit of extended family. There's a couple of empty bedrooms, and I have a feeling that this particular house, they might have a roommate who lives with them, because there are two like double bedrooms that I feel like one roommate would sleep in one and the other person would sleep in the other. Anyway, the kitchen is already quite furnished, got a lot of it done. I add this bar height table in the middle because it was feeling a little empty, and I use the Dream Home Decorator kitchen set with appliances from Cool Kitchen. And I'm definitely hopping all over the place in this build. I go to the living room for a little bit, I go to the dining room, and then I go to the entryway. It's all just a jumbled mess. I was doing this on the 9th of December, which was, I guess, yesterday. Thought it was farther back than that. But the dining room is definitely interesting. I think my favorite room is probably it's either one of the bedrooms that I'll point out later, or the office area downstairs. I think overall this house turns out really cute, but I think if you were to just take each room separately, I wouldn't like it as much. But the bathrooms also turn out pretty cute, and I add more detail than I usually do. I got this pot, and I swear I tried forever to try and get a plant in here that would look good, but they were either too small or too big, and this like bulb one didn't work, so I just ended up replacing it with one from Eco Lifestyle. I also used quite a bit of Eco Lifestyle because they have a good light brown swatch. Like I said, very light and airy build. In this townhome, we add a fireplace from Eco Lifestyle in the living room, and honestly, I messed around with couches for a while and end up on this Salvadorian one, and I actually used a little bit of Jungle Adventure, I think it's called, in this build as well. I used the couches and I used it for the dining room table. Also, one thing I would like to point out about Industrial Loft Kit, their coffee table doesn't have all of the same swatches as their other stuff, so the like lightest wood option that I was looking for wasn't on the coffee table, and it made me so mad, but I really wanted to use it, so I did. But it looks so dumb because it's so much darker than all of the other stuff in the room. Anyway, the living room is also pretty cute. I added some clutter. I just feel like it was a little too big. But this build as a whole definitely has helped me branch out, because I put coffee tables in all three of them, and I usually don't add coffee tables. Anyway, I also made this a home for a cat, which I thought was just adorable. I'm not sure if I actually remember to put a cat bed in the house, but I put everything else in there. Anyway, we're moving upstairs temporarily just to paint everything. I add this nice Get Famous brick as an accent in a lot of the house. It's just over walls randomly, and I think it definitely adds some emphasis. Maybe, I don't know if that's the right word. The bathroom in here, I definitely struggled with choosing a tile because everything was either too white or too bland, which I just feel was really weird. I don't understand why I was having trouble. Anyway, I make this room really pink and green. I definitely think the bathrooms are where the most pink and green comes out, because I add a lot of like pink and green towels and stuff. But we're moving on to the office greenhouse area. Is one of my favorite builds in the rooms in the house. I add these little greenhouse shelves with everything on it. There's like some tubes where they're growing stuff. They have a lot of these like pet planters, except all different swatches, and they have a cat planter, and I imagine that what that planter looked like is the kind of cat they had. And okay, did any of you guys know, if you guys play The Sims, did any of you know that, you know, on that dream home decorator thing, you can put some things on top of those books on the desk? My mind was like legitimately blown when it did that, like when it snapped to that, because I was not expecting it. Anyway, we're moving on to the laundry room. It's also a pretty nice build, a nice room in the house. It's really cluttered, pretty cramped, but it's still really nice looking. And I used some greenery in here as well, in the form of these eco lifestyle wall planters, and I don't think I've ever used them before, or at least not in any good builds. It's just a decently cluttered room with some cat food. I add a cat vacuum, just so it can get all the cat fur off of everything, and I think it's kind of cute. The hallway, just like it was with the parenthood hallway, is pretty bland, just a few plants. And then we're moving on to the other bathroom, which is also really pink and green. But this one's a lot more lighter of a green. It's more of a mint. Anyway, we're moving on to the spare bedrooms. All of the spare bedrooms, I imagined, had single beds, maybe for some children or sisters or brothers or family, and it has a lot of blocked out area. I think there are like 4 tiles in this build that had blocked out, and each of the guest bedrooms have this big blooming rooms, 1x3 stuff. They're pretty poorly decorated, or sparsely decorated is probably more the word. And now we're moving on to the bedroom that is definitely for the person who lives here, not the roommate. Lots of greens, lots of greens. It's so green in here. I add this wedding arch from Cottage Living, which I don't remember if I actually get rid of it. I might, but it's still such a green room, and I think it turned out really cute, but still like really hectic. But yeah, lots of greenery, some paintings. I don't know, I just cluttered up with what I felt like it. And then we moved on to definitely one of my favorite rooms in the house. This is probably where the roommate lives. It's got a lot more of the industrial style. Maybe when they moved in, they added some of the industrial stuff to the house. I add these wall boards, which I think turned out really nice. Anyway, I'm just editing this last bit. I do add, in the middle, I make sure that it's like qualified as a park, except for like the toilet and sinks, because those are the houses. But everything else it has, so it's technically considered a park as well. You can change it to that if you want. But it has some picnic tables, a few pieces of playground equipment, some chess tables and benches, and at the edge of the lot, at the like entrance of the area, there's also a community board from Eco Lifestyle. I will be uploading this to the gallery, Immortal Rocket, on the gallery. Please go check it out. Like, subscribe, do all of that. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Just finishing my terrain paint. Stick around for the screenshots, please, and thank you. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.